my best shot at it. But he said he would explain it as just, it was really simple the way he worded it. The way that technology is progressing, someday we will have be able to make a simulation that is so realistic that it's indistinguishable from reality, and you would never know if you were living in base reality or in a simulation. And I just thought that was a really simple and like easy to understand way.
Truly terrifying.
Yeah, it is.
We are living in a simulation. I forgot to post that. You know what's funny and what's weird? Lauren sent me this. I say Lauren. I'm talking to our listeners. Lauren sent me this picture, because you know what happened, of her in this outfit. And it was like these blue flowy pants and a black tank top. And I assume Colin took the picture or something. But there's a girl standing like kind of directly behind, off to the side of Lauren. And she was wearing an almost identical outfit. And she was like, oh, another glitch in the Matrix. Like, simulation is screwing up, because it looks like there's two of her. And I was, like, bored, so I was scrolling through my pictures. I think it was today, honestly. I was looking through them this morning, and I had saved that picture because I was thinking about tweeting it. And the place in my photo, like, whatever it's called, where my photos are saved, it was right after a bunch of pictures I had taken, and I was wearing an almost identical outfit. I'm not kidding.
That's
I wish
so
I could show you,
weird.
but I'm FaceTiming you, so I can't show you. But, like, I was wearing, like, these blue flowy striped pants with a black tank top.
So it put that photo in your photos next to...
Right.
That's so weird. I know
there's nothing behind it, but it was very bizarre.
Yeah, well, I know that the pictures on your phone, you can search, like, cat in your photos, and it'll bring up all the pictures of cats.
Things that look similar. So what is this, basic bitch in flowy pants?
I guess so.
They all just came up. Okay, wait. So Lauren got back from her stint in living in New Jersey / New York City. What were the highlights? Tell us about it.
Highlights, definitely the food.
Oh yeah, what was the best place? What was the what was the best food, and then what was the like coolest like niche things, like something you would see on Instagram?
The best food experience was definitely Smorgasburg in Brooklyn, because
so bad. Sad. I never got to go to that.
Yeah, it was. They just have everything, and like all of the most Instagram famous places are there with their tent set up. It's basically a big food festival. Like kind of think like a farmer's market, but everything is just food. So
amazing.
I documented that on my Instagram story. Everything we tried, just everything was so good, and there were so many options. So like one of the things I ate was, we started with lobster nachos. Those are really good. And I got some dumplings, and what else did we get? I can't remember, but that was the best food day. I have notes on my phone of all my favorite food places. I really liked Little Italy. I thought the food there was really good. I never
went there either. Well, I really did not take advantage of living there.
Well, I don't know. I talked to a friend who has lived there for 3 years. She's going to school there, and she also studied abroad in Italy, and she personally does not like Little Italy because she said it wasn't authentic because she lived in Italy. But I thought it was really good as someone who's never been to Italy. What else?
We should go.
Yeah. I need to take like a year before I go back to New York City, but when
we should go to Italy.
Oh, to Italy? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about that. I was watching some YouTubers vlog of her like going to a bunch of cities in Italy, and I was like, I want to do that. But I have no money. Anyways.
No, we should. I want to take an international trip next year, but I don't know if I'll have money, so we'll see.
Story of my life.
Please listen to our podcast and someone sponsor us so we can go to Italy. Thank you.
We'll tell you guys all about it and give you all the tips of going there. We just need the money to get there first.
Let's see what else. But yeah, anyway, the food overall is my favorite part. I'm just not a city person. Cities stress me out.
I was going to say, how did you feel? You ended up not actually liking it?
I mean, I got used to it when I first got there. And especially since I had visited you 2 years ago, I knew what to expect. I knew how to use the subway, and I taught Colin how to do all of that stuff. And I think that the thing for me is that New York City is so different in person than what you expect from movies.
Well, you expect it to be like the movies.
Yeah, you do. And it's
so much worse.
It is so much worse. It's so much dirtier and smellier, and everything's under construction, which just makes it look kind of ugly.
They romanticize the hell out of New York City in movies. Even New Yorkers, like people who live there, romanticize it. They're like, New York City is the best city in the earth, and I'm sure to them it is. But like, I think they really mean the people.
I think
more
so,
than
too.
anything else.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. To me,
how'd you feel about the people? You're from the Midwest, so it's very different.
It is very
the way
different.
People interact. But you're not that Midwestern.
No,
like your attitude.
But I do appreciate how nice people are in the Midwest. I don't know. I mean, New Yorkers, people from New York are very straightforward, but also New York City is so diverse. So many people are not from New York. There are so many tourists everywhere. It's hard to tell, like, it's just so diverse. So I don't really think people were one way or the other, because there were so many different kinds of people that we came across all the time. And then we actually didn't live in New York City. We lived in a city right outside of Manhattan in New Jersey. And that small city we lived in was majority Hispanic. So I really didn't meet that many people because like everyone spoke Spanish, and there were not really any businesses around us. Like the nearest Target was 20 minutes away. So anyway, the neighborhood we lived in, majority Hispanic. So I met our neighbors and some people that worked downstairs in the building that I lived in. But a lot of times...
Would you go back?
Like to live or to visit?
Yeah, to live.
No, I would never live on the East Coast. Sorry. Yeah,
Nowhere on the East Coast? You haven't been that many places on the East Coast.
I don't know. I just really prefer... No, I really prefer the West Coast, western half of the U.S. or the Midwest. I just feel like the lifestyle I prefer, it's so fast-paced on the East Coast and just stressful.
People are just, like, about what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's what they're thinking about, and which is fine.
Yeah, and that's fine. It's just not for me. And so, yeah, no, I would never live there. It doesn't feel like I could ever feel at home there. I don't think I would ever feel like it was my home. But I could feel like that in other parts of the country.
I understand that. Mm-hmm. For sure. Any other tips, tricks, or comments on your experience there?
I don't know. I think the experience is just what you make it. So for me, I love food, so I tried to incorporate food as much as possible so I would enjoy it. But there's definitely so many things to do there. The thing is, there are free things to do, but most things cost money, and so to really enjoy your time there, you need to plan on spending money. And so for us, we were broke college students. We made the best of it, but I definitely think if you want to take a trip there or move there and you plan on spending money, you can have a great time. But just be prepared for, if like you're someone like me from the Midwest, the price differences are just crazy. I remember when I first went grocery shopping there, I was like, at first I was shocked, and then I was pissed. Yeah.
It's like, what is this? Yeah. The difference is even between downtown grocery stores and like outside the city, like suburb grocery stores, is still even ridiculous.
Yeah. The one thing I really liked was we had a Trader Joe's 5 minutes from our place, and I love Trader Joe's.
I love Trader Joe's.
So that was great, because we don't have one here in Indiana where I am. But
there's a Trader Joe's like a 3-minute walk from my apartment.
I love it.
It's so nice.
It's
friendly
great.
Neighborhood grocery store. Mm-hmm. Okay. Did I tell you that I started reading, excuse my French, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck?
No, but I want to read that too, so tell me about it. How is it?
I'm only on the 3rd chapter. But it's really good. One, I didn't know it was written by a man, because there are so many, like I only really see women reading it, to be honest. But I guess I follow mainly women on social media, so. But, he takes such an interesting approach to it. He's really, it's really well written. It's very interesting to read, which I don't normally find with, like, self-help books. It's really well written, and it's interesting. He puts, he throws, personal anecdotes, and then, historical anecdotes. So he just puts a bunch of examples in there that makes it easy to read. But the best part, I think, is that while I'm reading it, he's like talking about how you shouldn't do these certain things. And he's saying it, and I'm like, I do that shit all the time. Why can't I do it? And I like get mad at the author, which is like, I think is the point of like, you're supposed to realize that you're doing stuff wrong and like how to fix it. Not wrong, but like stuff that can help you. But in the middle of reading it, like a realization hit me that what's written in that book versus what I like. I follow a lot of like hippy dippy, like manifest your dreams, manifest your like life people, is polar opposites, and they both claim to be like do this to better your life, and they're the exact opposite. So I'm like, what the fuck do you want me to do then?
Interesting.
So
how is it different from what like, he's saying? How is that different from like manifesting?
Okay, so like I think at one point he mentions like he actually like straight up calls out law of attraction and says it's bullshit. And he's like, you need to work for what you want. Like, it's not gonna just come to you. You actually have to like go and work for it. So he like immediately contradicts law of attraction, which is what all those people are about, manifesting. Yeah. I sent you a screenshot of that girl's Instagram that was like,
oh yeah,
it was like one of those question things on Instagram stories, and someone asked like, how did you lose so much weight? And she said that she manifested it. She meditated about losing weight, so she lost weight.
I don't believe in that.
And I know that's not what she meant, because she does talk about like eating healthy and eating plant-based, and she does like go on walks all the time. But like, you can't put that out there and expect people to accept that like, if I sit in my bed eating cookies and think about being skinny, I'm gonna miraculously be skinny.
No, she probably should have mentioned that she also eats healthy and is physically active.
Which I know it's a story, so it's hard to like fit all that, but still. But anyways, I highly encourage. I mean, I'm only at the 3rd chapter, and I highly encourage that book. He's really funny about it, because it's like, you think that you're gonna read it and it's gonna be like, you're not supposed to give a fuck about anything, like, be less uptight. And that's not really what it is. It's more like, you need to be uptight about the right things.
Yeah, like perspective.
Like, you need to choose what's really important and what actually to give a fuck about, and like not. And what's funny is, I started reading that. I went and bought it, and then I drove home from the bookstore, and on my drive home from the bookstore, I, being my road rage-ridden self, screamed at everyone that was being a dumbass on the road that day, which was a lot of people. And I get home and I start reading it, and it's like, and when you're sitting in 5:30 traffic and swearing at every other person that drives by you, you just need to let it dawn on you that it doesn't really affect you that much, and you shouldn't give a fuck, because all it's doing is causing you unnecessary stress. So it was really good. I highly encourage that to anyone who's looking for. I know that's really cliche, because a lot of people are reading it, but I mean, they must be reading it for a good reason.
No, maybe I'll borrow it from you when you're done.
Yes, I think I actually have a PDF version as well, so I could probably. Wait, no one heard that. That's illegal.
Okay, we'll cut that out.
Okay.
So, yesterday...
Wait, pause.
Okay. So, yesterday I went to see a new movie with my sister and my dad. It's called Crazy Rich Asians. Have you heard of it?
I have. It was a book too first, right?
Yeah, it was. And I did read the book, and I liked it a lot. But anyway, I saw the movie yesterday, and it was a really good movie, but also just made me feel good. So, if any of our listeners don't know what I look like, my ethnicity is I'm half white. So Caucasian. So a mixture of like Irish and Scottish background. And then, I mean, my dad is Caucasian, and him and his family have been here in the United States for many, many generations. But my mom is half Chinese and half Thai, and her parents moved here to the U.S. A little bit before she was born. So so she was the first generation to be raised here in the United States in her family. But anyway, there's been a lot of dialogue about this movie, Crazy Rich Asians, because it